Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Draw with Rob, with me, Rob Biddulph. There I am, sitting at my little desk, the very same little desk that I'm sitting in front of right now. Now I'm a children's author and illustrator, which means I write stories for children and I draw the pictures to go with them too. Maybe you've seen some of my books. Have you seen this one? It's called Blown Away. It's all about Penguin Blue, who goes out flying his kite on a very windy day. Maybe you've seen this one here. This one is called Grrr, and it's all about a gold medal winning bear who loses his growl. I really like that one of my favourites. Now then, we are here today, as per usual, to do a drawing together. It is called Draw with Rob after all, isn't it? It's not called, ballet dance with Rob, is it? It's called Draw with Rob. So you will not be surprised to learn that we are drawing a picture together today. Right then, we are drawing something slightly different today because usually we draw characters, don't we? So more often than not, they're little animal characters. That's what I like to draw best, I think. Occasionally we do humans, but occasionally we do objects. Vehicles in particular we've done a few of, haven't we? Do you remember we did a rocket ship? Do you remember that? We did a rocket. When was the rocket? That was episode 59, I think. And we also did one, which was a lot of fun. Episode 54 was a pirate ship. Now that pirate ship, I think, is the most difficult, the most kind of complicated one we've done so far, but it was a lot of fun. And your drawings, when we did the pirate ship, they blew me away. They were so good. Even though it was a very complicated drawing, they were really good. And that's because the way that Draw with Rob works is that we break it down into little tiny bite-sized pieces, don't we? So I do a little bit of the drawing on my piece of paper, you pause the video and you copy what I do, then I'll draw a bit more, maybe a circle or something, you can pause and draw that circle too, then I draw, then you draw, I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw, and by the end all of those little tiny bite-sized pieces add up to make one big fabulous drawing. And that's what we're going to do today, because today's drawing is also going to be slightly more detailed one. We are going to draw a steam train, particularly the steam engine, so the front part of an old-fashioned steam train. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of you have asked me to do this over the month, so I'm very excited to be doing it today. Okay, so what you're going to need: a piece of paper. You're going to need a pen or a pencil. Lots of you ask what pens I use. I use Kuretake pens. This one is called the Mangaka Flexible. It's a little brush pen, but do you know what? You can use anything you like, a pencil, a biro, anything. It really doesn't matter. All you need is something to draw with, a piece of paper, and that's it really. And we're going to start. Okay, are you ready? Okay, let's begin then. Right, we are going to start with a very simple shape towards the bottom of our piece of paper. We are going to draw a rectangle, and it's going to be a long, thin rectangle. So what's that? Mine's about 10 centimeters long maybe, but only probably a bit less than a centimeter high. So a nice, long, thin rectangle, a nice, easy way to start our drawing. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a little circle at the left-hand end of our rectangle. But the circle is going to be sort of tucked behind the rectangle, like that. And let's do exactly the same at the other end. So another little circle just tucked behind our rectangle. Now, when it comes to drawing circles, I know lots of you get a bit worried that you can't draw a perfect circle. That doesn't matter at all. Don't worry about it. You can see my circle here. Look, it's not perfect at all. It's a bit egg-shaped, isn't it? It really doesn't matter. In fact, you know what? I think it adds a lot of character to the drawing when it's not perfect. I think it's actually better when it's not perfect. We're not robots. We don't want our drawings to look like they've been done by a robot or a computer. We are humans. Humans make little mistakes, and that's what gives charm to our drawing. So don't worry about that at all. Certainly don't screw your drawing up and start again. There's absolutely no need. Right, the next thing to do is we're going to add another circle, slightly bigger, outside these two that we've just drawn. Do you see what I mean? So they're just slightly bigger. It's a bit easier to do this one because you've got something to follow, haven't you? You've already done one of the circles. Then we need to draw an even bigger circle, quite a lot bigger this time. So we are going to go from about here, we're going to go all the way around those circles and make really quite big ones, like that. And then let's do the same here. Where should I go? Go back there. So yes, you can see my circles, they're not perfect at all. Really, please don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. There we go. Guess what, we need to do one more, but this one is going to be just outside that, so it's much easier to follow. I think that big one that we've just drawn was the hardest part of this drawing, actually. There we go, we're going to follow that one around, and then we're going to do the same down here. We're going to come around. Yes, so there's going to be lots and lots of little bits and pieces to this drawing. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's like when you build something out of Lego, sometimes when it's quite a complicated bit of Lego build, you use lots of those little tiny bits and pieces, and you have to put little bits in here and there, and as you're doing it you don't really know what those bits are. It's only when you build the whole thing together at the end that you realise what each bit is, and when you finish the whole thing it's just like, wow, look at all the detail. It's really, really fun to kind of have a look at all the detail, and it's going to be exactly the same when we finish this drawing. I'm sure some of you can guess which part of the train we have started with, and if you haven't guessed yet, you're going to guess after this next bit we do. Because what I want you to do is imagine the middle of that circle, or all of those circles in fact. Imagine a straight line going up through the middle. What I want you to do is do 2 straight lines coming up from the middle of that one, like that. And then I want you to carry those straight lines on down through there. And then guess what? We're going to do some going out to the side, like that. Then we're going to do some going up diagonally, going down diagonally, going up this way diagonally, and coming down this way diagonally. And then in all of those gaps, let's do some more. Just one in each of the gaps. So we're really filling up our circles with all of these lines. Just like that. There we go. So I'm sure you can guess that the parts we have drawn, the parts of our train that we have drawn first, are the wheels. Now then, we need to do the same with this wheel that we did with this wheel, don't we? And add all these little sort of spokes. So I'm going to go into super speed mode to do that, so you don't have to watch me do it all again. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go! There we go, my 2 train wheels. Okay, the next thing to do is, it's a bit like drawing another circle, but what we're going to do, we're going to start just outside this one, and we're going to follow it around as we did before. But we're not going to go all the way around this time. We are going to stop when we get sort of level with this, so about halfway down, and we're just going to draw a straight line across like that. And this is a sort, I don't know what you call it, it's like a wheel arch. And let's do the same here. This time I'm going to start with the horizontal line over here, and I'm going to follow our wheel around like that, and join up back here. Okay. It looks a bit like 2 eyes, actually, doesn't it? I just thought, with sort of eyelashy, eyebrowy things. I don't know what that is going across the 2 eyes, but hey. What am I talking about? I don't know. Sorry, guys. I tend to babble sometimes, you might have noticed. Right, the next thing to do is, okay, from about half a centimetre up from the bottom of our wheel, so the lowest point on our wheel, I want you to put your pen on the edge of the wheel, so not right at the bottom, but about there, and we're just going to come out in a dead straight line across to about there, so 5 or 6 centimetres out, something like that. Okay, then from this end we're going to go up in a diagonal line like that, and we're going to stop about there. So we're going to stop before we get level with the top of the wheel, so again about a centimetre below the top of the wheel we'll stop. And then we're going to turn back in another straight line and join up with the edge of the wheel, like that. Okay? Then I want you to draw another line just inside, following those lines we just drew. Up we go, back across. Lovely. Then we are going to fill up this shape with lots more diagonal lines, all going in exactly the same direction, like that. And we're going to keep going, we're going to stop, we're going to tuck them all behind this sort of wheel arch here, but we're going to keep going until we fill that shape up. Like that. So do you see what I mean? There's lots and lots of little complicated bits and pieces that are happening with this drawing, but trust me, you're going to be really proud of what you end up with. This is a good one, I think, to go up on the wall, maybe even in a picture frame, who knows. Okay, the next thing to do is on this wheel here. Now I'm going to tell you, our train is going to be facing this way, so it's going to be, if it was going along the tracks, it'd be going from right to left. So the front part of our engine is here and the back part is here. So on this rear wheel, I'm going to call this the rear wheel, what I want you to do above this wheel arch is I want you just to draw a little line. So it's going in the same direction as one of those spokes, just coming out like that. Okay. Then I want you to do one over this side. So follow that spoke this time and just draw a little line coming up like that. So it's like two little antennae coming out of the top of that wheel arch. Then I want you to join the two in a nice curved line. There we go. Now this is where we're going to put the name of our train, okay? Because all engines, and I think even nowadays, all engines, so there's the cars at the front of the train that pull the carriages along, they're all given names. So you need to start thinking about what you want to call your train. And so do I actually. I haven't thought of it. Yet. I'll have a good old think while we are drawing this. And get your thinking caps on too. Okay, the next thing to do is we need to draw a horizontal line. So if you imagine the top of this front bit of the train carries on behind the wheels, I want you to draw two little lines that just go between the wheels like that. Then at the back of our engine, actually we're going to start down here, so just above where that wheel arch finishes, I want you to draw a horizontal line that comes out like that, curves upwards slightly diagonally, and then it joins back up again. Okay, so it's like a little tail at the back of our train. Then from about here, so half a centimetre in from the end, we're just going to draw a little vertical line. Then above that, we're going to draw a horizontal line. Then above that, we're going to draw another horizontal line. This one's going to be slightly longer, so about that long. Then we are going to join those up in a diagonal, just like that. Then we're going to actually carry this line on, so it goes out a little bit further still. And then we're going to draw another horizontal line above that. It's going to be exactly the same length this time. And then we're going to join that up. And then above that, one more horizontal line, like that. Maybe a bit longer, but not quite the same length, and then go back down. Oh, it's gone overlapped there, so what I'll do, I'll make that line a bit thicker. So there we go, we've added lots of sort of little detail-y bits. I'm not sure what they all are. I just think sometimes with the drawing, if you add lots of little detail bits here and there, it just helps kind of add to the whole idea that there's lots of parts to the thing that you're drawing. In fact, why don't we add two more lines in between here, just for that reason, just to make it look a bit more sort of complicated. Now I'm going to go back to my wheel because I'm not overly happy with the way that that was looking. So but remember what I said, you don't screw up and start again, you just keep on drawing. Sometimes you can correct your drawings. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go back here. You don't have to do this because you might have got yours to a point that you were happy with straight away. I'm just going to go back in and tweak that bit, just like that. Make this a little bit thicker around here. So your drawing, you can keep going with your drawing, keep evolving and tweaking and changing your drawing as you go. Okay, there we go, that's a bit better. I'm a bit happier with that. Right, the next thing to do is, from the top of our arch here, so about here, I want you to draw a horizontal line, comes out and stops when we get to level with that corner, with that front bit there, okay? Then we are going to go up, and we're going to go up quite far, about there, so about the same height as your wheel, roughly. We're going to go up. Then we are going to go back along here, and we are going to stop this time. We're going to go all the way back along, but we're going to stop about there. So hang on, let's see. I'll tell you what, let's stop, let's make it a bit easier. We'll stop when we get to level with this bit here. So that first shape that we drew, we're going to stop there, okay? Let's just fill that bit of line in there. My pen ran out a bit halfway along that line. Okay, and so now what I want you to do is imagine that line carried on up to above where we're going to write the name of our train, and we're just going to keep that vertical line going all the way up. Let's go up to about there, I think. So that distance is slightly less than that distance. Yeah? And when we get to the top, well actually no, let's not do that, let's do this bit first. Sometimes it really does matter the order you do these lines in. We're going to draw another vertical line that starts slightly in from the end of this shape. We're just going to come up, and this time we're going to go up so that we finish level with this line here. Wow, do you think this is our most complicated one yet? I don't know, the pirate ship there was lots of detail in that pirate ship too, wasn't there? But this certainly is giving it a run for its money. Okay, now what I want you to do is a horizontal line that goes between these two. In fact, it overlaps these two, it keeps going, it extends past those two, and it extends past on this side quite a lot more, maybe 2 centimeters or so more. This side just a little tiny bit. Then we're going to go up, and we're going to go up, and we're going to join them up again. So that rectangle is about a centimeter tall. There we go. Really starting to look like a train now, isn't it? Then I want you to add, we're going to add a bit more of that detail here. We're going to draw a horizontal line underneath there. Doesn't go quite to the end and joins up. So you get this sort of step thing similar to the step thing you get down there. But this time I think we're going to come down there and we're going to do a little curvy bit that curves like that and then joins up with the side. So it's a bit more of a kind of corner shape. Okay. Then inside this rectangle here, we're going to draw another rectangle. It's going to, imagine that line carries on, but again, we're going to leave a little gap. So we're going to go across there in a horizontal line. We're going to go up there. We're going to go back across here, and we're going to join up again. So a little rectangle inside. And that's going to be like a little window in the bit where the driver stands. Okay, let's come back over to this side now. So at the front part of our engine, we're going to draw another rectangle like that at the front. It's just a little bit smaller. And then we're going to draw sort of a curved shape. So like a shallow curve, just like that at the front of our train. Oh, this is such a fun one. I really like doing ones like this with lots of detail. It's really fun for me. Okay, now then, what I should have done, of course, is I should have looked up what you call all the different parts of a steam engine before I started this video, shouldn't I? But I didn't, I forgot. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I tell you what, let's start labeling these bits and pieces now, shall we? This bit here, do you know what that's called? That's what that's called. I'm going to add it in afterwards, don't tell anyone. That's what that bit's called. This bit, the front of the train, I don't even know if these bits have all got special names, but I'm going to guess they have. This front of the train is called, that's what that's called. And what else can I tell you? That'll do for now. I'll just tell you those two things for now. Oh dear, Rob, come on, you really got to start researching before you start drawing. I'm just so keen to start drawing, you see. I just get on with it, don't I? I just go straight in. Right, okay, let's have a go at drawing, I think it's called the funnel. Like, you know, like the little chimney thing at the front of a train. I think it's called the funnel. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I will correct it at some point, but I think it's called a funnel. This is how we start drawing our funnel. So about 1.5 centimeters in from the end, I want you to draw sort of like a rectangle with curved ends, like that, about 3 or 4 centimeters long, like that. Okay, so that's the first bit. Then coming up out of that, I want you to draw 2 diagonal lines. One going out that way and one going that way. And they go to about the same height as this part of our train here. And then what we're going to do at the top of that, I want you to draw a rectangle. It sort of tops it all off, quite thin, like that. And that is going to be our train's funnel. In fact, on top of that, let's just draw another little rectangle, but slightly smaller in length. Another bit of detail to add to our drawing. Now the next thing to do is here they have, now I always loved these when I was a little boy, these little bits, because they always had like a funnel here, but then they had a sort of little rounded bit here, and I never knew what that was. So let's just draw it first by doing 2 vertical lines, 1, 2, like that, about that far apart, and then we're just going to join them up with a curve. They always had these little sort of bumps. I never knew what they were until now. I'm going to look it up and I'm going to tell you what this thing is now. There you go. I think it might be something to do with water. I might be wrong, but there you go. That's what it is. Education station, eh? You're learning. You live and learn. Right. Okay. Now we're going to draw a little whistle, and we're going to put our whistle, I think we'll put our whistle up here. So this is how we draw a whistle. First of all, we're going to draw a vertical line, not too tall, about that tall, 1.5 centimeters. Then we're going to come across the top just a little way, like that. We are going to come down a little way. Then we're going to draw a kind of like a sad mouth shape, like that. So it goes down, turns around, comes back up. And then we're going to keep going down. Okay, so do you see what I mean? It's like a little sad mouth in this whistle. Then on top, we're going to draw another one of those little rectangles. Then we're going to draw a curvy top like that. And on top of that, we're going to draw a little circle. There we go, a little whistle. And to show that it's a whistle, this is a little trick. We are going to draw, just coming out, we're going to draw a very thin line. And then we're just going to draw a musical note, which is a circle, a line up, and then a little sort of curvy bit, like that at the top. A little musical note to show that our train is whistling. Oh, a nice little detail. I love these details. Right, okay. At the front, our train needs a little light, I think, to, you know, in case it's driving in the dark, it needs a little kind of spotlight. So this is how we do that. We're going to draw 2 lines very close together, next to each other like that. And then we're going to draw a slightly diagonal line, so it's going slightly downwards towards the left, like that. Then we're going to draw a vertical line at each end. Then let's join them up at the top and add just a little sort of, another one of these little bumpy bits on top like that. And then we're going to add a little sort of semicircle poking out of there like that. And to show that this is a light, just add some little thin lines there to show that our light is lighting up. Okay, we're really getting there now. This is a nice drawing, isn't it? It's a nice drawing. Oh look, Ringo's just shown up outside the door of my studio. He might woof in a minute if he wants to come in. I don't know. He's having a good sniff about in the garden at the moment, so we'll leave him be. If he wants to come in, I'll let him in. Right. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to add a few more little details here and there just to link everything up with our drawing. First things first, we're going to add just a little vertical line there to join this main part of the engine to the lower part down here. And then I want you to carry this line, this horizontal line, I want you to carry that across. It's actually on my one, it's just joined up right with the corner of our nameplate like that. And you know what? Because I like detail, I'm going to add another horizontal line there. Why not? Why not? Okay, the next thing to do is add a vertical line. So I want you about 2/3 of the way across your funnel here. I want you to draw a vertical line coming down, meeting the wheel like that. Then I want you to add 2 more. So I want you to, this area here, so this rectangle here, I want you to try and in your head divide it into 3 equal parts and then just draw vertical lines, splitting that up into 3 parts like that. Then we are going to draw another horizontal line about 1 centimeter up from the bottom like that, and one from the top. Similar, about 1 centimeter from the top. It's going to go across like that. Lots of detail being added now. We're going to add 2 more lines to our funnel. I'm doing these slightly thinner. Can you see I'm just pressing a bit more lightly with my brush pen, and the lines are slightly thinner than the outlines. Because these are kind of detail lines, I don't necessarily want them to be quite as sort of fat as the outline lines, if you see what I mean. Now, this is a fun bit, because in here we're going to add a bit of decorative detail. So what I want you to do is, we're going to draw a vertical line there, a horizontal line there. Can you see I'm leaving a gap in the corners? A vertical line there, the same length as that one, and then a horizontal line there, that's going to disappear behind our nameplate. And then I want you to join up the corners, but not with straight lines. I want you to join them up with curves, like that. So you end up with a shape like that. And then we're going to follow that shape around inside. So we're going to make a sort of a slightly smaller version of it just inside, like that. There we go. And that's a shape they used a lot on trains when they were basically old engines. As well as having names, they also had numbers. So what they used to do is they used to paint the number on quite big inside a shape like this. I don't really know why they did that, but I'm going to do it right now. And you can choose any number. Choose your favorite number. Now, a number, you might not have noticed this, but in every single one of my picture books, somewhere in the book, the number 72 appears, right? So the books I showed you earlier, here's Blown Away, the number 72 appears. Let's see. Can you see? It's on Clive the Polar Bear's rubber dinghy. The number 72 appears in Grrr here, this book. If we go to the page where we meet Fred the bear, he's just been to the gym and he's got his gym bag, and look, the number 72 appears on his gym bag. So it's embarrassing to say, but the 72 is the year that I was born. That's right, I am very, very old. So I made a decision to always include the number 72 somewhere in one of my books. I don't know why, it sort of became a bit of a lucky mascot after a while. So I am going to number my train 72. So I'm going to do it in quite sort of posh lettering. I'm going to do one of these things where you do whoop, 7 like that. Let's put a little circle there. So a nice 7. Hang on, how would the 2 go? So come down, go around, finish up with one of those things. Something like that. That'll do. It's not perfect, but that'll do. 72. But choose your favourite number and number your train accordingly. Right, what can we do next? We're pretty much there. We're almost ready to colour. Do you know what I'm just going to add? Let's just add a couple of stripes. Maybe just a stripe across there. Now, a really good thing to do now is to add lots of little dots for rivets. So along all these sort of thin lines that we've done, I want you to add lots of dots, because that suggests, it's a bit like when we did our rocket ship, we did this, I think. Oh, did you hear that? I heard a woof. Ringo, what are you woofing at? Well, he's not looking at me, he's looking at something in the garden. Maybe he's seen a cat. Cool, woofing away. So he's not woofing to come in, he's just woofing at something random in the garden. I'm going to leave him for now. Right, yes, so lots of rivets. So I'm adding lots of dots along all of these lines, and it just makes it look like it's sort of made of metal that's been joined together with rivets. So you can do that too. I'm going to do it along all of these lines, but I am going to go into super speed mode to do it, because you don't need to see me doing all of that, do you? So here we go, 3, 2, 1, go. So there we go, lots and lots of riveting action going on, lots of dots everywhere just to make it look nice and detailed. And I think that's pretty much where I'm going to leave the outline stuff. So now it's time to colour in, isn't it? Now, this is a really fun part. Any colours you like. Back in the day when people used to ride around in steam engines, there were all sorts of different colours, multicoloured. It was a really fun part of the job, I think, for the train designer to come up with the colours for it. And you are the train designer in this instance, so go for it. Whatever you want, anything goes. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to decide as I go, I think. But have fun. Knock it out of the park. Rainbow colours would be great. I'm going to see you back here in 30 seconds or so with a lovely coloured in engine. So are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so there we go. There's my coloured in engine. I have called it the Flying Ringo. Of course I have. In the process of me colouring in, by the way, everyone, just in case you're wondering, Ringo did woof to come in, so I let him in. So he's sleeping behind me now like a little baby, totally unaware that I've named my steam engine after him. So you can see I've gone for quite traditional steam engine colours. Green, the main part is green with little bits of red and yellow here, sort of to trim it off. I think it looks pretty smart. I'm very pleased with it. I wonder what colours you've done. Now there's one thing we've still got to add here, or two things actually. The first is some steam coming out the top of the funnel thing. So there we go. Lots of nice scribbly steam. This is a fun bit to do. It's going off the top of my page. I don't want to get it on my background really. So there we go. Lots of steam. It's going back slightly that way because our train is going forward. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, I might add a little bit of, just to put a little bit of black in there, just to make it a bit darker in the middle and at the area where it's coming from the funnel. There we go, a bit of steam. And of course the very last thing to do is sign your drawing. Oh, there we go. And there's my steam engine. So yes, the good thing about when you're doing a drawing that has got lots of kind of little details and bits and pieces here and there, is that there are lots of nice areas to colour in. So, you know, I could have done every single one of those diagonal lines in a different colour, or every single one of those spokes in a different colour to make it nice and rainbow coloured. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do. I think there's going to be lots of really lovely colourful steam engines coming my way. Now, this is what you need to do if you want me to see them. You need to get your grown-up to take a picture of your drawings, and then if they post it on social media using the hashtag #drawwithrob, that would be perfect. Okay, and then that way I should get to see them, and then who knows, maybe your drawing will make the grid at the end of the week. So I hope you've had fun following along with me today. I know it's been a tricky one, a complicated one, but hopefully you are very proud of your drawing, so it was all worth it. So listen, I'm going to see you again very soon for another episode of Draw with Rob. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and of your families, and I'll see you soon. Bye everyone. Hello, it's me. You didn't expect to see me that soon, did you? I hope you really enjoyed that video that you've just watched. I can't wait to see the drawings that you've done. Don't forget to share them using the Draw with Rob hashtag. I just wanted to pop up here and remind you that the Draw with Rob activity book is out now. If you would like to grab yourself a copy, you can get it from wherever you get books from, and it's full of really cool things for you to do, colouring pages, lots of the draw-alongs of your favourite characters that we've done on these videos here. And there's a little frame for you to draw your pictures in, perforated edge so you can tear the picture out easily and stick it up on the wall. But there's loads of really cool things for you to do. As I said, colouring pages, little thing. I've started drawings off and you've got to finish them, that kind of thing. And then right at the end, if you go through the book and you really enjoy yourself, look, there's even your very own certificate to stick up on your wall to say that you are officially an ace artist. So there you go. That book is available now. I'll stick a link somewhere in the post or on the YouTube page for you if you are interested in buying it. In the meantime, this time I really am going. I'll see you very soon for another Draw with Rob video. Take care.